Ah, see what I did there? I said in the title of this video that Glocks suck, but really they don't. Oh man, that's so funny. Not really. That's just a trick that you'll see around that different people do to try to get people to watch their videos. I just wanted to kind of point that out and poke fun at it a little bit. Not that there's really that much wrong with it, but that's something that, so enjoy it while it lasts, because you'll never see that ever again on this channel or on the Hickok 45 channel. But Glocks actually don't suck, obviously. Definitely Glocks are probably my favorite practical modern handgun. I wouldn't say that I'm a very like a very gun collector minded kind of gun enthusiast, because really my favorite guns are not guns that I would actually carry. So it's really two different things to me. I mean, I might say 1911s are my favorite handgun. I'm not even sure if that's true or not, but I absolutely love them. But as far as practically speaking, a gun that all looks and history and all that stuff aside, just something that I want to rely on, that I would trust my life with, Glocks for sure, no question about it. And I don't think they look that bad. I think they're kind of cool looking, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of cool looking guns, but they're not bad. People say that they're really ugly and all this kind of stuff, but I mean, like Dad says, part of their practical value adds beauty, and in some weird sense. Sometimes something that's extremely functional almost can just make it look nice, I guess. I don't know, just because how well it works. But anyways, this is the Glock 17. It was the first Glock that was released, and it's just a really neat gun. Except really, I prefer the 19 because really the 19 will do anything that the 17 will do. The only real advantage of the 17 over the 19 is the fact that it has a ever so slightly longer sight radius and maybe some reduced recoil, maybe not that much, especially in the 9s. But people might say, oh, what about the capacity? Well, you can put a Glock 17 magazine in a 19 without any problem. Well, it doesn't fit flush. Well, I mean, it's still the same length, so it doesn't really matter. So really the 19, and really the same thing is true for the 22, 23 arguments, really the same thing, except maybe there's a little bit more significant difference in the recoil between the 22 and the 23 versus the 17 and the 19. Don't quote me on that, but I can see how that might be possible. But yeah, let me shoot it first, and then I might have some stuff to say about it if I can come up with it while I'm shooting. We'll see. So if I'm not shooting well, it's because I'm thinking about something to say. All right. Let's see if it works. Alright, I'll go ahead and shoot one more bag. I'll try whatever is left over there on the other hill. It's a really solid feeling gun. Look at that. Missed the close target. I was hitting over there. But yeah, the 17 is the 17 is kind of special in a way because it was the first Glock. It's really it's almost the only way that it is special to me as far as among the Glocks. But the 17 specifically, definitely one of the disadvantages of it is just like if you've seen the Glock 19 video that I did, I mentioned how the Glock 19 was just small enough to where it was a viable option for concealed carry, at least in my opinion. And it's big enough to where you can do anything with it that you can with any gun. The 17 is kind of the opposite to me. It's just big enough that it's really not that viable of a concealed carry option. And you might carry one and think that it is, But here's the thing, when it comes to bigger guns, I think there are a lot of people who maybe kind of lie to themselves about how concealable that they are, because maybe they put it under their shirt and then they look at themselves in the mirror and kind of lean back, oh yeah, I can't see it, I'm good to go for the day. But as soon as they even just lean a little bit or go to reach something, or something falls and it's like, oh man, they go to pick it up, you know, the gun is very obvious. With a gun, even a Glock 19, I mean, it's so easy to print. You really be honest with yourself. If you're carrying a big gun, actually check in the mirror and see if you're printing or not. Bend over, you know, lean down, you know, make sure that that you're not printing it. Or maybe you don't care. You know, I mean, you can. It's legal to open carry in most places, but if you're going to carry concealed, you know, you probably don't want to print. So so actually check and make sure that you're not printing. But like I said, I feel like this gun is probably just a little bit too big for that. But as far as just a range gun, it's great. I mean, I really feel like I can shoot it well if I focus and don't get distracted. But it's just I mean, it's a Glock. I mean, not much else you can say about it. And it almost seems like, of all the different modern handguns that I've had in my hands over the years of doing this whole crazy project, it seems like all these other guns, and there's so many great guns out there. I mean, just so many great ones. But it seems like they're all trying to be Glocks, and they aren't quite. The things that are easy to match about a Glock is the reliability. There's tons of guns that are just as reliable as a Glock. I mean, tons of them out there, especially now. So that's easy to copy. The trigger, lots of guns have better triggers than Glocks. Really, the grip, that's easy. I mean, that's the easiest part to beat on a Glock. So all these things, the sights, all these different things are just so easily surpassed by any other gun. But the one thing that it seems like a lot of these companies just haven't acknowledged that to me makes the Glock so great is the profile, is how streamlined it is. I mean, it's just so smooth and so thin for being a double stack gun. It's so simple. There's really not a lot out there that just competes with that really well. I mean, there's a few, but I mean, it just, the controls are so small and out of your way, and it's so thin and simple. And then also the fact that it has, you know, like almost 30 years, or yeah, about 30 years of history of just use, rugged use, even in the military. Of course, everybody knows law enforcement is use these things like crazy. I mean, as far as it just doesn't get a lot better is the thing. It really doesn't. I mean, you may not like how it feels, but it just, you can't go wrong with the Glock. I mean, you just really can't. Just find the model that suits your needs, and you know, you're good to go for sure. Shoot this last magazine. I'm sure I upset people saying that, because a lot of people love all the XDs and all the MMPs, and all those are great guns. It's just, they just aren't as streamlined as this, and this does what those do in a more streamlined way, I believe. Yeah, it's just a really neat gun. And I feel like we have to constantly remind you guys of this, but we don't get anything from Glock. Honestly, we probably have the worst relationship with Glock than we do with any of the other companies, and it doesn't really matter, because we're just going to tell you what we think about the guns regardless, and it's just, these things are just hard to beat. Anyways, Glock 17. One of my favorites. See what I did there? I said that Glocks suck in the title of this video, and they don't suck. Isn't that funny? Yeah, I bet you guys had a great laugh about that, didn't you? I'm not gonna do